Let's now talk about pre-planning, about a lesson plan. As teacher, it is always important and useful to give our students some well-structured lessons which are not only knowledge-friendly but also interesting and enjoyable for the students. Otherwise, students might lose interest in the lesson and the learning objectives may not be gained. Therefore, some careful thought and preparation is needed in order to provide a good lesson, or good thoughts are also needed in order to plan for a lesson plan. While planning for a lesson plan, teachers or instructors might focus on the following points. They could see what could be more engaging for the students, what could be more interesting for the students, and something which can keep their interest within the classroom as well as in the subject, and more importantly in the language point which would be taught in a certain lesson. At the same time, teachers should also know what they are going to teach, or in other words, what students are going to study. It could be any aspects of language or grammar, could be a comprehension lesson, could be something about phonology or pronunciation. It could be anything, but teachers should know in advance what would be the particular object of teaching and what is the certain language input which teacher aims to provide through that particular lesson. It may not necessarily be always a new language point. Sometimes it could be the revision of a previously told point. So therefore, it is always important to know that what is being introduced to the class in the coming lesson. And then activation of already available knowledge with the students is also very important. Teachers should have a fair idea that what has already been told or taught to the students within the classroom and what needs to be told or taught further. And therefore, a teacher may focus on utilizing students' previous knowledge in order to teach them more knowledge or more language input. In this regard, teacher may focus on some important questions. For example, what do the students know already? So if a teacher would have a fair idea about what his or her students know already, he would be in a better position to plan his or her lesson for the students. What do the students need to know? As I said earlier, if a teacher would be familiar with what students already know, he would be in a better position to decide what they need to know further. So, therefore, he should focus on the needs of the students as well. For example, if a student is preparing for a certain language proficiency test, his needs might be different. But if another student is preparing for certain general English improvement, he might be or he might need something different. So it's the teacher who needs to think over all these aspects and decide what would be the possible needs of his students. And he should also consider, do his or her aims suit that need as well. So we should try to tailor our aims of the lesson according to the needs of the students. And where did you do? What did you do with the students in the previous classroom? It has already been said that teachers should know that what has already been taught within the classroom. Similarly, teachers should also be familiar with what is happening around the classroom as well, because if he would be able to know that, that might generate or give students more opportunities to practice the language input more, because such practices of language objects might give students some real life opportunities to practice the language. So, and this could be more learner friendly at the same time.